So it is possible that our client will have what we call emotional release. And emotional release is just because we have made associations, our brain and our musculature make associations just like our brain makes associations with smell, right? With all of our senses. And so we make connections with our body. And so just as we might smell mothballs and think of our grandmother, or smell incense and think of the time that we spent in India in this temple, that these things bring back memories. And so when we've had holding responses in our body, this brings back memories too. And when we have emotions like protectiveness or fear or anger, we tense our body during those times, right? And that creates an emotional association. So when we work with the tissues, we are bringing out those associations and those emotions. So it's important to explain this to our clients, and it's important that they know that when those feelings come up, when they receive body work, that oftentimes their brain will want to create a reason for this. You guys remember talking about this? Mm-hmm. So your brain will want to create a reason so that you don't feel crazy, a reason for the fear you're feeling, or a reason for the anger you're feeling. And really, it's just anger or fear leaving the body. And so it's important to know that so that you don't re-traumatize yourself, so your client doesn't re-traumatize his or herself, and they're able to really let this go. So with this massage, we're going to begin by having Christina take 3 deep breaths. So inhale, I'm just going to stack my hands, and we're doing compression. So exhale. And you just sink down with her, remembering that this is your body weight. So we're never muscling what we're doing. When we inhale, as she inhales, I come up. As she exhales, I sink down. My body weight extending through my arms, through my hands. Pause. And then as she inhales, I let up. And then as she exhales, I sink down. It's important that you respond to their every move, and they don't feel like this is ever something controlling. The client needs to be in control of the session always. So now we're going to begin wave-like Petrissage. So we're just going to sink in on one side with the heel of our palm, and then pull back with our fingertips. Moving all through the abdomen, refraining from pressing against or touching the bony landmarks. So either the base of the rib cage or the ilium, so the anterior superior iliac spine, staying off the iliac crest, but getting very close and moving that tissue away from those bony landmarks. So wave-like Petrissage. And if you feel inspired, your intuition tells you to stop and respond to something just with a little bit of like jostling or some other type of movement, we call that unwinding. So feel free to do that. It's not something you want to force, but you definitely want to respond to it when you feel that. Dance with the muscles, dance with the tissues, the fascia. It's going to unwind. Are you okay with that pressure? So I would continue this wave-like Petrissage for a little bit longer because this is going to be about a 1-hour massage. Okay? And then after this, we're going to start our skin detox. So I'm going to start on Christina's left side, just lateral to her navel. And I'm going to have one hand working and the other hand is just going to kind of support. So, and kind of bring the tissue in. And I'm going to begin on the skin level, just with these circles. I'm going to stay on the same place in the skin as I go deeper and deeper, and as I create wider and wider circles. And if I feel any tissue variations, so anything that feels like a little knot, these are just little areas of either ganglia, or they could be a few muscle fibers that are contracting, So in that case, I'm just going to spend a little longer doing what we call unwinding, which is really just sending the signal to that musculature and allowing it to send the signal to the brain to soften and to let go of that chronic contraction. Circling. And I'll keep moving around the navel. when you receive abdominal massage, like the focus today, typically you feel much lighter. And a lot more freedom in your body. And psychologically, it somehow sends a signal so you feel a lot more freedom in your mind. And it's a great feeling. But every once in a while, you can have other emotional responses. That's where that idea that the brain cannot conceive of an emotion being there without assigning it a reason. And that's really important to understand that. I told you guys the story of when I first had myofascial release, and she's a very good therapist, and even with my years of knowledge about emotional release, at the end of it, the therapist asked me, so how was your massage? And I thought in my mind, that's none of your business, you jerk, And I only knew, I only thought it, but I knew from my reaction that that was not a logical reaction, that was like way out of proportion to what he just asked me. And so I knew from that I was having this emotional release. And so I was able to just process that, and have that be a meaningful, good session for me, instead of re-traumatizing myself over nothing in that case, And my brain didn't even pick a very good reason. Thank goodness. Because if it had, I could have tricked myself, right? Yeah. So I said, it was really good. I think I'm having an emotional release. That's great. So it's a chance for really great chance for breaking habits and connections that are not benefiting us. You're still okay with pressure? Okay. Then make sure to tell me if you're ever not. Your body kind of tells me too, huh? It's good. If you guys have any questions at work, you're welcome to ask them.
When do you start moving into a deeper? So you start out kind of superficial.
You start out kind of superficial and you go deeper and deeper. If their body kicks you out, you'll feel a resistance. And then you move back to softer pressure, or even to a different area. Sometimes even to a different technique. But you'll start finding that the client will tell you, they can tell you with words too, but they'll tell you with the way their body's responding.
So are you like pretty deep right now?
Right now I'm pretty deep, yeah. But, and some people you go a lot deeper than this too. It's just to the level that you take it right to the level where there's some resistance and you're not pushing further than that, so you don't force anything. So this makes it a comfortable treatment for you to give too. This shouldn't feel